are going to be painting together. I'm really excited because I love painting. It's my favorite thing to do. It's very relaxing. And so I want to talk to you about some painting supplies so that you have what you need when I send you the videos. The first thing we're going to talk about is paper or canvas paper, painting paper. This is the cheapest way to go. You get a pad of 9 by 12, 10 sheets. I mean, it comes in different sizes. 9 by 12, 11 by 14 is a good size. It's a real thick canvas paper, and it's good for painting because it doesn't wrinkle and bubble up and get when it gets wet. So you need definitely something to paint on that's a nice surface. You can paint on mat board. This is a canvas board. This is a board that's covered with canvas. And it is this is a 12 by 16, 11 by 14, even 8 by 10 is good to start with. Although certainly a 16 by 20 would be wonderful later on when you get into some more advanced painting. So you definitely need a good surface to work on. And then you need a palette, and an egg carton is a good palette because you've got a place to put each of your colors. You can mix over here on this side. You can put a wet paper towel on top of your colors and close it up and put it in a plastic bag, and it stays wet for maybe a week until you can come back and paint again, and that way you don't have to waste your paint. You always need to keep your paint wet. Once acrylic paint dries, you cannot use it. You cannot re-wet it again. Brushes. You need some good brushes. And I'm going to show you some good brushes and some bad brushes. Any kind of a brush that has a bad hair day. This one you see is the hairs are sticking out. This one is a big brush that is very soft and fuzzy, and it's good maybe for watercolors, but not for acrylic painting, not for what we're going to do. These are round ferrules on the brushes, and they're okay as long as you get a brush that will keep its point, that comes to a really good point and it's not floppy. The round brushes are okay. But I really like the flat brushes, and these have a flat ferrule. It's like it was round and it was pinched together and now it's flat. And the flat ferrules are better. You can get a large brush. This is actually a number 20. You can get a medium brush, which would be probably a number 6, or this one is an 8. Sort of a medium brush. And then you could also get a small brush like this. This is a flat ferrule, long handle brush. Long handle ones are better for acrylic painting. And this is about a number 3. It's a flat brush that is probably about a 3. So you need 3 brushes. You need a big brush, a medium brush, and a small brush. And the flat brushes are the best. But if you already have brushes, go ahead and use what you have. However, the short handle brushes are the watercolor brushes, and they usually have the very soft bristles, and you're going to have a hard time getting the control. So if your brushes become frustrating to you, then you really do need to get some good brushes. This brush is called a rigger or a liner, and it's a long, skinny, look how skinny those bristles are. Very long and skinny. This is a wonderful brush to have because it's very hard to get barbed wire or telephone line poles or whiskers on a kitty with a brush like this. You would really have a hard time trying to get a fine line with this brush. So get the brushes that you need, and then you're getting acrylic brushes, not oil painting brushes and not watercolor. Don't spend your money on those brushes right now. This course is talking about acrylic paint. Another thing is a palette knife. We're going to try a palette knife out. However, you can use a plastic knife. You don't need to spend a lot of money on a palette knife unless you already have one, or unless you're going to spend a few more years working in art. A toothbrush, an old toothbrush, is really good to have too. We're going to try to experiment with the toothbrush. So we are going to, I think we've probably covered the brushes. Let's talk about paint. Acrylic paint is what you need. If you have tempera, you are welcome to use it, but it might be frustrating for you because you're not going to get the results that you would have with acrylic paint. You don't want to use oil paint. Oil paint has a lot of fumes and you need a solvent for it, and I would not recommend that right now. You also don't want to use craft paint. It's too runny, it's too liquidy. If you have it and you want to use it, fine. It's totally fine to try it, but it can be a little frustrating at first. So I would prefer that you get the regular, and I'm sorry everything's backwards for you because I am working on a cell phone and everything's backwards. So, but this is called Basics, and it is a Liquitex acrylic paint, and we're going to go over the colors in just a minute, but this is probably a good one to start with. There's also Grumbacher Academy. It's a student grade. It's not professional grade. It's not really what I use, but both of these are student grade paints, and then they will work fine. But if you want to get, if you're really working on a higher level and you want to get the professional grades of the Liquitex, they're wonderful. They're great. You can buy them in a regular art and hobby store like Michael's. But I order a lot of my things online at Jerry's Artorama, which is in Raleigh, North Carolina. They ship them really fast, and the prices are very good, and they have sales frequently. So you can always go online and order anything you want there. So paper, paint, brushes, palette. I'm trying to think. Okay, the colors of paint. I would really like for you to try to start with red, yellow, and blue. Primary colors. You can add black and white for sure. You need black and white, but I would keep your colors to a minimum. When you go in the paint store and you see all of the wonderful greens and pinks and oranges and fluorescents and metallics, you're going to go crazy and you're going to say, oh, I want everything. But that's probably not the best way to start, because you need to learn how to mix basic colors first before you go crazy and buy the whole store out. So I would say just one red, cadmium red medium, one yellow, cadmium yellow medium, one blue, ultramarine blue, and then for your birthday or Christmas or anything extra, if you want to get something extra, sap green and burnt sienna, which is a brown, orangey brown, would be two good ones to add in to those three primary colors. Plus Mars Black and titanium white. Make sure you get titanium white, because there's a lot of whites. There's one called mixing white, and I think there's another one, I can't remember the name of it, and they're very transparent, and you don't want to do that. So you want to make sure you get titanium white and your three primary colors, because with the three primary colors you can make green and orange and purple. You can make every color under the sun with those colors. Sometimes you don't get the exact color, like if you're painting a flower and it's pink and you mix your red and your white and it doesn't come out exactly the pink shade that you want, that's when you probably need to go buy the pink. But for right now, in order to learn how to mix, I think it'd be better to minimize either the three colors or the five colors to start with. So that introduces you to the painting class that we're going to do. And we're going to start off with easy stuff. We're going to do, if hopefully you've already done the beginner drawing classes, because we're going to do some upside down painting. We're going to do painting from shapes. We're going to go back through a lot of that drawing information and apply it to painting. So we're going to have a good time. Click on the link that is painting lesson number 1, and I will see you in a few minutes. Bye.